So this is my cousin Marlon. He's going to actually show you some of the amazing work that he's done and explain what's been going on with him in his life.
Yeah, okay. Well, this piece here is the Last Supper. It's a familiar piece in the Renaissance. It has been enhanced a little bit with a little focal point here, which is a diamond. Yeah, not real, but cubic zirconias, but to give you the effect. It represents the whole theme of the period where Christ had his members, as you say, or saints or followers. And the side views, which is the pictures on the side, represents the Garden of Gethsemane. You have the Rock of Peter. Yeah. The tools, the swords and the spears that would have used at that particular period of time. The angels and so forth. Yeah. If you look around, the place is more or less 1st century, ancient Greek or Greco-Roman style. So you have some familiar pieces from the Greek theaters. You have the Venus, you have Apollo, Pegasus, the flying horse, Zeus, most of my pieces around. All created to get the right aesthetics of the period.
So this is Zeus, yeah?
Yeah, that is Zeus.
Okay.
That was done in original style. Yeah.
And you actually did that?
Yeah.
And that is?
That's Pegasus. That's the head of Pegasus.
Pegasus,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the whole place is actually a set. Where
Right.
you can do all your photo shoots and interviews. And you could be juggle around, create whatever
Scene that you want.
Yeah, you want. Alright, instead of you having to move to the studio, your home becomes the studio.
Okay. Right. And on this table here we got?
Right, this is Pegasus again. All these are crystals. Again to create the right aesthetics and the feel of the place. More of a kind of celebrity style villa.
Okay.
Alright. So
what about down there?
That's the head of a Greek runner. Yeah. All that was handmade. Yeah.
Hand done.
Yeah.
And again, this is concrete.
Yes.
So I must hasten to say right here that some of this work is being done with concrete.
Right.
As a medium.
Right. It's demonstrating the creative aspects of concrete. What it can do.
Right.
This here is an entertainment table. Normally when you have like guests over, you can accommodate hopefully about 8 people. And you have your conversation pieces, which is one of the main pieces to the front, which tend to attract the ladies. Yeah. You have a little bit of everything,
Yes.
Cognac and wine and, candles.
Right.
To create a general ambience.
Mm. Definitely would create a stir with the ladies.
Right.
And this is just a fish.
Right, this is actually a sylvan rock.
Right.
Normally if you serve, it's a sylvan tree.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of that period where you had the 1st century. Again, same thing when Christ ate
Feeding the
fish.
fishes.
Yes.
Okay.
Some
Right.
pieces. In all that, what you try to do, you try to mix the earthly with the heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you look around the place, you would see some heavenly pieces, and then you would see a little bit of erotica. The
Right.
great, that was more or less, if you go back and you study the great Titan,
Right.
those are what some of the stuff all great artists do, because that is the reality of life.
Okay. And that sort of brings back the period of that sort of time.
Right, where it demonstrates the freedom of the mind and the spirit
Right.
when it comes to creation.
Okay.
This area is a wine section, or a wine area where you do all your storage and stuff for your wines and your drinks.
Yeah.
So again, what you try to do when you design, you try to create a balance. You start with the main theme. This here again, the angel is the central theme, the mirror, and from there you expand on that theme and create a nice balance effect.
Yeah.
You have your lighting systems, you have your wine, your peacock flowers, which all represents again, you know, the ancient Greece and Roman styles going back to the city of Pompeii.
Right.
Right. All these
So would you say that you're creating your own style now?
Well, yes, more or less. After studying the styles of the Romans and the Greeks for so many years, over 20 years, you come to master the techniques what they would use, you know, and the objects that they would use to create the right aesthetics and feel.
Right.
Yeah, so you might become a collector of a particular theme or period. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. These are like lampstands. Alright, you change the meaning, you put a little flower and so forth. Look, there's a area here where you would probably find of some interest. It's an entertainment area here. Yeah. It reflects how to describe this, yeah. The box office, as I see, or an entertainment,
Right.
or a movie mongol, as I say, or tycoon,
Okay.
where you have Lionsgate Entertainment, you have the Caesars, or which is David, you know, from Michelangelo,
Yes.
right, and so forth. You have a Cleopatra piece, which is very nice. And again, the angels form the central theme of the piece, which are like more or less your helpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got these long staff.
Right.
I see you left the flag of Trinidad in there.
Oh yeah, that's, you know, the strawberry patriotism and so forth.
Know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look, you have a nice little piece here where you have Diamond of Dionysos, or Bacchus. That little boy there, that's Bacchus.
So is that Bacchus when
Right.
he was small?
Right. Bacchus and Dionysos is the same more or less person. The Romans know him as Bacchus, and whereas the Greeks is Dionysos.
So are we talking about Bacchus that was downstairs?
Yes.
Right, okay. So what was the story behind Bacchus then?
Well, Bacchus, he is the Greek god of wine and entertainment.
Right.
Right, he was the whole foundation piece for the establishment of the whole theater in Athens, Greece.
In Greece?
Right.
Okay.
So more or less a lot of the carnivals and shows stem from that particular period, because that era was the first more or less theater or coliseum for the arts.
Right.
So he is a keystone figure in all entertainment areas, as you would say.
Right, right. Okay.
This section here is the Kama Sutra section. It's a bit naughty, as you would say, you know, but again, it's a conversation piece. It represents the strength and the fertility
Right.
of the villa, or the fruitfulness, as they would call it back in ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, the penis, the male penis, was known as the phallus, and it
Yeah.
represented good luck.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah.
So you can... So could we actually see inside? Oh,
Okay.
that's it. Okay. I can see that they really believed in, you know, the strength.
Yes, you had your good luck charms then, and you have them to these things.
Okay.
This is the blue section up here, where you see most of the objects are blue or rustic style.
Right.
Alright. You find most artists like Pablo Picasso, they went through a blue period where most of the art you would get a reflection of the colors and so forth. And it's important to maintain that tradition and all that, have that blue period
Right.
You know, so you must have that blue section.
And having the blue section, would you say there were other colors?
Yeah, you have your colors, but you have them to match the shades, to get the right shades and themes.
Right. Right.
This is a mixture of the blue and the metal. You know,
Yes. Yes.
to get that look.
It's certainly interwoven quite nicely, you know.
Most stuff in art it's dependent on the aesthetics, what
Right.
people would like, you know, and what feel they would like to create, you know.
And this section here.
This is a wine section.
Oh. Okay.
The whole place is more or less geared for entertainment, you know, our friends and family and so forth. So you will find a lot of pieces, like if you enter like a studio, so you can have a lot of conversations and ask interesting questions.
Right. Right.
So,
So really, what is your aim now? Are you going to try and turn it into a museum, or are you going to try and, you know, get people to come and see?
well, it's more like an art gallery within your home,
Right.
right? Museums tend to have that traditional look.
Right.
So I tend to, you know, have it as more like an exhibition area within your home.
It's something that certainly I think you need to show off, you know, to get it out there so everybody can actually see,
Yeah.
you know, the content. Well, Marlon, we thank you very much for this guided tour, you know, and I wish you all the best, you know, for the future, and, you know, making sure that you prosper
And thanks a lot.
continuously.